Hello friends and neighbors, this is Alan again. Today I would like to demonstrate to you how I go about rigging up bottle fishing in small streams, lakes and rivers. I've had great success in this. You don't very seldom see this no more. Most people call it jug fishing. I like using bottles. This just happened to be a smart water bottle. You can use this, or you can use a Powerade, Gatorade bottle, something of this nature. What I like using is anywhere between 15-pound test line up to 30 pound, depending on what type fish you're targeting. 15 to 17 pound will catch most fish, up to 10, 15 pound easy. Okay, the way I do this, I generally get about 3 foot of line. 3 feet, if you were to get a yardstick, it measures 36 inches. 36 inches equals to 12 feet. 3 feet. 12 inches is a foot, 24 inches is 2 foot, 36 inches is 3 foot. All right, what I do here, I take my line and we're going to tie it onto the bottle. What you want to do is, like I said, approximately 3 foot, cut your line, tie a knot in the end of your line, okay, and then just make a loop, just a small loop, just like you tying on your shoe. Put it over the neck of the bottle. Once you get it past where the lid goes on, just tie your knot. We get our knot to cooperate with us a little bit here. Let's see here, let's try it again. Okay, we're gonna go in and pull that down and then tie a knot, go back in here and cross over, run your knot back through the loop and tie it like that. Okay, on this end, like I say, I like using a number 1 or number 2. You can use up to a number 4. Short shank, I like using eagle claw. You can use Gamakatsu hooks, Mustang, all of them are good hooks. And to tie the hook on, you run your line through the hook. I like tying a knot at the end of my line. Okay, go around and go around again and pull this down to your hook. Be careful not to get the hook caught in your hand or your finger when you tie that down. Okay, now you got your hook tied on to your jug. Okay, now I use a number 7 split shot. I've had great success with this. You want to come from your hook, I'd say approximately 6-7 inches, just kindly eyeball it, something of that nature, and then crimp your weight onto your line. Be careful not to crimp it too hard, because the more pressure you put on this split shot, it will cut your line. Now, you're set up to hook worms, crickets, minnows, brim, any bait that you want to use, chicken livers, something of that nature. All right, well, to transport this, I like putting my hook and my weight inside the jug with your line. You can leave a little bit of line sticking out, take your cap, put it back on there. Now, when I rig this one up, I like using fluorescent paint. And just go to any hardware, any local hardware, pick up fluorescent paint, shake it up. You hear a little marble in there. Shake it up and just mark it, just spray paint it. This will help you be able to see your jug in the water at long distances. Just spray it like that, let it dry. It'll take about 15-20 minutes for that to dry. Okay, that's one technique. And you can make up several of those. Check with your local game and fish department, see how many you're allowed to use. I don't know, here in Alabama we have to tag our trot lines and limb hooks when we put them out in our rivers and streams. Basically, this is just a piece of aluminum. You can get this at Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store that sells this piece of aluminum. If you're able to find letter stamps, use a hammer and a letter stamp, put your name and phone number on your piece of metal, or it could be plastic. Alabama Game and Fish Law recommends you either use metal or plastic. Put your name or phone number or name and address once you're fishing for this. The reason why they're doing this, a lot of people are going and fishing with limb lines and trot lines and bottles. They're leaving them out in the streams. They don't go back and try to retrieve them. It's a bad thing for you to do that, and that's why the Game and Fish Division recommends that you put this on here. So if you happen to forget, you leave them out there, they can contact you and say, hey, you need to go get your lines out. Keep anybody from swimming or so forth and getting a hook in them or getting caught in them. All right, another thing that I'd like to show you right quick. Sometimes you can purchase these at Academy, sometimes Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's. They may sell them. If not, you can make your own. This is a piece of 1/2 inch PVC pipe. You want to drill a hole on both ends of the PVC pipe. This is approximately 16 to 18 inches in length. What you'll do is run your line through here and tie it. You bring it over and you make your setup, put your weights and your hook. I like using a barrel swivel. That way if you catch a catfish like to spin, they like to turn off. Get you a water noodle. You can pick these up at Dollar General or Walmart and slide your 1/2 inch pipe through here. What this acts as a flotation device. It floats on top of the water. When the fish takes the hook with the bait, it stands up like this. If they pull it down, it's got enough flotation to bring it back up for you to visually see it. Now, we will demonstrate the technique on this. What I have rigged up is another piece of PVC pipe. This is approximately 5 foot long in length. I took a welding rod, tied it around, and then used electrical tape and then bent this end. So when you're fishing and you run up on a fish and he's in the water, you can reach out with this hook, grab your line, you can pull it to you. Now if a fish wants to try to get away, this pipe's got enough flexibility to it to bend. And that way it increases your chances of landing the fish that you're trying to catch. A good thing to have is a dip net, so when you pull the fish up and you've caught it with this and you've got this in your hand, you pull the fish up with your dip net, you're being able to dip him up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the kayak that I'll be using today. This is a Hobie kayak. It's 12 foot in length and it's a pro angler. I purchased this kayak in Columbus, Georgia. There's a dealer over there that sells these. I've been very pleased with this kayak. It's a Mirage system. You use your feet to paddle it, maneuver around, or you can use your paddles to use. And also, I'm climbing the ladder. I'm having a lot of birthdays here lately, and I'm almost knocking on the door at 60 years of age. So my feet get tired. So to keep from getting fatigued, I went online to islandhopper.com and found this trolling motor kit and mounted it onto my kayak. It has really been helpful. If you put a trolling motor on a kayak here in Alabama, you have to tag it and buy a license for it. You have to go to your tag license office, give them the bill of sale where you bought the kayak, the model and serial number, and then they will issue your numbers and your license tag to go on your kayak. It's very important that you do that. If you put a trolling motor on, if the game warden or water patrol was to come up on you and you're on a water or stream and you don't have this on there and you have a trolling motor on there, it will be a hefty fine. I'm just trying to save you some money. This device I have in my hand, most of you already know what it is. Those of you that don't, this is a minnow trap. You can purchase this at any local bait shop, Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's. A lot of these stores carry this. I use dog feed, bread. A lot of times when I can, I'll use a piece of onion, or I'll put white styrofoam in here along with the food. That will attract your bait, your minnows, your brim, what you're trying to capture. Now, if you don't have something to stake it off, just go break you off a limb. That's what I did a while ago. I broke it and stuck it in the ground, threw this out in the water, and I left it in the water about 20 minutes, and I caught enough brim to bait up my bottles, float bottles, that I'm going to demonstrate to you the nature of the fishing that I like doing when I'm fishing. The more hooks you got in the water, the more chances you got to catch fish. Okay, friends and neighbors, I'm going to demonstrate to you how I go about fishing the bottle. unscrew your cap where we tied the line on a while ago. Your hook and your weight will fall out. When it does this, I normally have a floatable water gate attached to my kayak that I have my brim or my minnows in. Just lay that in your lap. Reach in here and find a volunteer. My hook, I take the brim, I hook it right past his dorsal fin. I take this cap, you want to screw it back onto the bottle, just kind of snug it. Okay, free your line up with your bait and then cast your jug out. And you are now fishing. You are bottle fishing. You catch big brim like this most of the time. That brim there is eating size. That's almost as wide as the palm of my hand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got another fish on our bottle. I'm going to use my PVC pipe to hook my fish. Dip net. Fish in the boat. Caught him on the bottle. Nice catfish. Okay, friends and neighbors, the next little segment I'd like to show y'all is just a simple way to put out a trot line. This is a size 48 nylon staging. You get it at Walmart, any of your bait supply places that sells bait, trot lines, fish hook, things of this nature. You can buy a pre-package of your line and your hooks already made with your snaps, your swivels, already on there. Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, places of that nature sell this type deal. I do it the old-fashioned way. I bought a spool of number 48 nylon line from Memphis Twine. I used green cake food coloring. I took a 5-gallon bucket, filled it full of water, put green dye in it, and I dyed my line green. I don't like using white line. White line's okay, you can use it, but my years of growing up, I always like a green or a black line. I've had better luck catching fish that way. Now, I already went across the upper end of my lake, and we've got an iron stop drove up in the ground. Now, me being here in the lake, I'm not using cotton line. You're supposed to use cotton staging, 6 feet of line tied to nylon on both sides. 6 foot on that side, or at least 6 foot tied on this side, according to Alabama Game and Fish regulations. Since we're just doing it in this lake, I'm not using cotton line. I'm just giving you a demonstration how we go about putting out a trot line. Now, we already tied it over there and we brought it across the upper end of the lake. What I like doing is pulling all the slack out. Wind you off, you want just a little bit of slack left in your line. I've got another iron rod right here. I give it just a little bit of slack. And what I do, I just tie it like you tie in your shoe. But you want a knot put in there so it won't slip or come loose during your process of putting out the trot line. Okay, I tied it off. Okay, you got just a little bit of slack. Let me lay this excess ball right over there. All right, now what I like doing when I'm putting out my trot line, you can find big bolts, nuts, something of this nature. Tie them on with some string about 18 inches. What I like doing, I'm going to demonstrate it, but this is too close to the bank. What I like doing is have about 8 inches of line, come around twice, come around the back side, make you a little loop, pull it through, and your weight is on your line. When you get ready to take a trot line out, you pull your string, your knot comes loose. Okay, let me demonstrate one more time, and then I'll proceed to put the trot line out. You go around twice, come around the back side, come through the hole, and pull it tight. Now you have your weight on. All right, when you're putting your hooks on, I like using these little snaps. I've made these up with a barrel swivel with a hook tied on them. This is a number 2 Eagle Claw stainless steel hook. The way this is designed, you paint your clip, and it's very easy to do. You put your hook on. You can either bait your hooks as you go, or put your weight and hooks out, and then come back and bait your hook. I'm going to proceed to go on across the lake and put this out just like I was going to fish it. You can pull your line. I'm going to reattach this anchor. All right, let me get away from the bank a little bit. Okay, you can get away from the bank about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 feet in length. Take your snap, hook it onto your line. All right, that's one hook. The way I separate my hooks, I go arm's length. Ever how far my arms will stretch apart, that's where I put my next hook. Take your clip, clip it on. All right, as you gradually get away from the bank, take your weight, tie it on, or either you can rig it up with a clip. You can buy extra clips at Walmart or any bait and tackle shop that sells them, and you can put them on like that and then clip it on if you don't want to tie the little slip knot that I'm tying on here. All right, go about the same distance away from your weight. Put your hook on. Come out in the middle. I have another weight. We're going to tie it on. All right. Now, as you get these out, and I think it's like 25 hooks to a line, no more than 100 hooks per person in the state of Alabama is what they recommend that you use. Now, once you get your hooks out, you can come back. You can use worms, brims, minnows, crickets. Some people use ivory soap. I have heard of some people take up chunks of 3/4 1 inch square of ivory soap and use that to catch catfish with. I've caught catfish, bass, drum, various species, brim, doing this technique of fishing. I like using up to 1 or 2 worms. I like using Canadian night crawlers or wigglers. A big worm, most people call them fiddle worms. When I was growing up, we called them Florida pink worms. They do real good as far as catching catfish, bass, and brim. Be careful not to let this hook stick you in the hand. Hold on to your hook, hold on to your line. It's best if you got a buddy to do the buddy system. Let somebody else hold the trot line while you bait the hook. Normally when I put my trot lines out, I like running them every hour or every 2 hours. Some people like running them at dark. Make sure if you run it at dark, you know the water, know where you're at so you don't get lost. A lot of times fog will roll in, get you disoriented, and you don't know where you're at. I like using glow sticks. You can buy those at Walmart. You pop them, shake them up, and they glow at night, and that'll help you find your camp when you reach your destination or coming back. All right, then clear your way, get out from under the trot line, and now your line is fishing. Like I said, the more hooks you got in the water, the better chance you've got of catching fish. And that's what my older people have told me. My father taught me, and this is what I've learned over the years. I hope that I've showed you something that will help you be able to catch fish, enjoy yourself, and be safe. Always. Now today I'm not wearing my life jacket, but this water is only 3 foot deep. Normally I wear one. That's another issue I'd like to tell you. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy yourself, be safe, and may you catch a lot of fish. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you catch when you bottle fish. And I use a small brim, size of your thumb, #2 short shank hook, and a bottle. And this is what I caught. This is what I catch. If you have the patience long enough, this is the caliber and type of fish that you'll catch. Hope you enjoy yourself. If you like what I've done today, hope you like and subscribe. See you next time.